Hello, I'm Steve Weber, the host of Essential Book Trip. Today we're doing something different. We're going to talk not about books, but about what sometimes comes before the book, outlines. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, Cassandra. Hello, Cass.
Hi, Steve.
Cass, would you like to kick off this discussion?
No, Steve, I haven't decided exactly how I feel about outlines. Not yet. Why don't you start?
Okay, I'll start. I'm an open book. So today we're diving into a really interesting area for anyone who writes or even just tries to organize thoughts.
Hmm.
This outline paradox.
Hmm.
We've looked at some material that really highlights this battle between wanting structure and maybe just embracing the chaos.
Mhm.
For a lot of people, outlines aren't helpful. They're just stressful.
Yeah, and what's really striking is why it's not just the work involved, it's the format itself, isn't it?
Totally.
The sources we saw actually called the traditional outline a mystifying system, like comparing it to advanced algebra or, get this, ancient Sumerian.
Sumerian.
Right.
It perfectly captures that feeling of being totally lost before you even start. You feel like you failed already.
Exactly. And it's those specific things, the mechanics, that seem to cause the panic.
You're absolutely. The Roman numerals, then the capital letters, then lowercase letters, all nested.
The tiny little ikes sometimes.
Yeah, all those indentations. It's supposed to scream organization, but for some people it just screams, well, existential dread.
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? The conflict isn't just about being tidy versus messy. It's sort of philosophical.
How so?
Well, particularly for writers who figure things out as they write, discovery writers or pantsers, as they're sometimes called.
Right.
The outlining system demands you commit up front. How can you possibly know your main point, your big Roman numeral I, or even the subpoints, A, B, C?
Before you've written it.
Exactly. Before you've actually gone through the process of discovering what those points even are. That's the fundamental hurdle.
Yeah, if writing for you is about following a thought wherever it leads, then trying to stuff it into this rigid box beforehand it feels like you're short-circuiting the whole creative spark.
It really does. It forces you to have answers when maybe the whole point is the questioning, the exploration, which naturally leads us to these two distinct camps of writers you see described.
Okay, let's dive into those. And I have to admit, my sympathies often lie with Team Chaos.
Ah, the caffeinated squirrels.
That description from the source material just nailed it, didn't it? Writing that ricochets around like a pinball machine operated by a caffeinated squirrel. It's energetic, for sure,
Uh-huh.
but organizationally, a little
Yeah.
terrifying.
And it leads to some interesting results, like the example given.
Mhm.
You start writing about your favorite breakfast cereal from childhood,
Yeah, seems simple enough.
and somehow, a few paragraphs later, you're deep into the metaphysical implications of nostalgia.
Or the fall of Western civilization, apparently triggered by soggy cornflakes. It happens. The tangents they just pull you in.
And the paragraphs themselves, they don't always follow logically, do they? The source said they just wave at each other from across a crowded room.
Yes,
Hmm.
hoping for a connection. And maybe you found yourself making story decisions by rolling dice. Just me. Could be Team Chaos.
Or your filing system. It's not exactly logical, is it? The sources called it archaeological.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Yeah.
You're digging through layers like sedimentary rock, document names like New Thing Draft 3 or Essay Final, maybe.
Or this one is better but worse.
Yes, that one. And the deeper you dig into those drafts, the more unhinged the attempts at coherence seem to become. You're basically excavating your idea.
Right. Now let's contrast that with the other side. Team structure.
Organized ones.
The very organized ones. These are the writers who live and breathe outlines. For them, writing isn't excavation. It's more like architecture or maybe solving a crime.
Where the crime is always a weak thesis statement.
Pretty much. They talk about needing narrative scaffolding,
Yeah.
structural integrity. It's a whole different language.
It sounds almost clinical sometimes. Do they actually use blueprints?
Well, kind of. They rely on established methods, things like beat sheets, mapping out the key plot points and emotional beats.
Right, hitting those marks.
Exactly. Or the classic three-act structure, maybe even more detailed frameworks. It's all about the plan.
And the tools.
Hmm.
I picture walls covered in index cards, color-coded Post-its.
Oh, yeah. Treating it like that detective's evidence board you mentioned. But it gets even more intense.
Also.
Spreadsheets. Like actual spreadsheets on a computer.
Spreadsheets for writing.
Yeah. With columns for things like tracking a character's arc through the story, measuring thematic resonance,
Wow.
or even setting specific page count goals for different sections. It's incredibly detailed.
That sounds incredibly disciplined and maybe a little intimidating, like they know exactly where they're going. It's the total opposite of the caffeinated squirrel.
It is. They front load the organizational work, solve the big structural problems before the actual writing starts. But, even the most committed chaos merchant sometimes gets the urge to try and impose order.
Oh, don't I know it? The siren song of the outline?
That relatable moment of failure.
Totally. You sit down feeling virtuous, you open a new document, you type I, introduction.
Mhm.
And for about, 45 seconds, you feel like a proper writer.
Haha, yes, that fleeting moment of competence.
But then,
Mm,
paralysis.
yeah.
You get to a hook,
Mm.
and your mind just goes blank.
What is the hook? Do I even have one yet? Should the hook actually be the conclusion? Maybe I should write the whole thing backwards.
Yes. Or you start wondering if structure itself is just like a conspiracy, a social construct designed to torture writers.
So what happens?
You ditch the outline, you just start writing whatever feels right in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
and you place all your faith in that ever-reliable figure, future me,
Future me. Such a capable individual.
supposedly. We trust future me will magically sort out the mess later.
And here's the kicker, the spoiler alert, that the sources basically scream at you. Future me is never happy about this arrangement.
Never, not once.
By choosing chaos now, you're essentially taking out a loan. You're accumulating serious organizational time debt.
Ooh, I like that phrase. Organizational time debt.
Right. You're forcing poor future you to spend way more time in agony trying to impose order after the fact, trying to hammer those random pinball ideas into some kind of coherent shape.
It's so true. We think we're saving time by skipping the outline, but really, we're just signing up for a much bigger headache down the line.
It's a direct trade-off, isn't it? Spontaneity and freedom now versus frustration and maybe some despair later.
Which brings up a really interesting point about those writers who seem to pull it off, the ones whose work feels incredibly organic, almost like it just grew that way.
The beautiful literary garden analogy.
Yeah, where thoughts just seem to bloom naturally into other thoughts. Is that really structure-free, spontaneous genius? Or are they just incredibly good at hiding the plan, hiding the scaffolding, as the source put it?
My suspicion, and what the materials suggest, is that for most successful published work, it's the latter.
They're master illusionists.
Perhaps. True. Absolute chaos rarely makes it into a readable final form. The structure might be internal, flexible, not rigid Roman numerals, but it's usually there somewhere. Which leads us to, well, the final truth of the matter.
The late-night realization.
The 3 a.m. question. Basically, the sources imply there are really only two kinds of writers.
Okay.
Those who outline calmly and confidently, and those who lie awake at 3 in the morning staring at the ceiling, absolutely convinced their work reads like a stream of consciousness fever dream.
Fueled by caffeine and regret. Yes, I know that feeling.
That 3 a.m. panic is the hidden cost of winging it. But
Mm.
there might be a middle way, right? For you, the listener, if you're feeling that pain but hate the rigidity.
I say yes.
Well, the sources do point towards resources that aim for structure without that Sumerian level dread. They suggest shifting the focus.
Okay.
Instead of a rigid, formal template, think of outlining as a guided process of discovery for yourself. The key is asking the right questions, not filling in blanks.
So, less I, introduction, and more. What?
More like using incisive questions and imagination-riving exercises, as one source put it. Things designed to help you brainstorm your actual premise, your plot, your characters first.
Getting the bones of the story down, essentially.
Exactly. Figuring out who your characters are, what drives them, what challenges they face, where the story happens, how the scenes connect, before you sweat the small stuff, like the perfect opening sentence.
That sounds much less intimidating. It's making the outline serve the story, not the other way around.
Precisely. It's about creating a personalized process.
Right.
But how do you know the right questions to ask if you're stuck in that chaos mode?
Good point.
That's where the guided approach comes in. It steers you. Instead of Roman numeral I, it asks things like, what's the event that kicks everything off for your character? Or what's the big idea, the theme you really want your reader to grasp?
Oh, okay. So it's providing the scaffolding, but it's scaffolding designed to help your specific garden grow, not just a generic cage.
Beautifully put. It reframes the outline, doesn't it? Makes it a tool for thinking, for discovery, not just a bureaucratic hoop to jump through.
That makes a huge difference. So whether you're drowning in that organizational time debt or you just want future you to, not hate past you quite so much.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Starting with some kind of thoughtful framework, one that fits your way of thinking, could be the answer. Not necessarily the old school, terrifying template, but something more alive.
Something that helps you build rather than just restricts you.
Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. Until next time. Cass, what do you always say after I always say that? Remember this, whatever you do, whenever you write lists.
Your mind becomes its own kingdom, and whether that kingdom has a well-organized constitution or operates in beautiful anarchy is entirely up to you.